ashy. Hello, YouTube friends and family. How are you guys doing today? I hope that everyone is doing wonderful and swell per usual on this good Tuesday morning. It is February the 24th, 2026, and it is currently 9:44 a.m. here in Detroit, Michigan. My bad, I had to put on a little bit of Vaseline because when I had got out the shower, I didn't put nothing on, no oil, no coconut oil, no nothing. And baby, I was white as snow. Still is a little bit. Anyway, if you watch my videos, then you know that I had burnt myself on the stove the other day. And this had a really big black scab over it. But it was itching so bad and I've been scratching it. So I scratched the scab off. But it still itches, and you know, itching is a part of a healing process. So somebody is healing, and somebody is healing well. And you know, actually petroleum jelly you put on your skin as a skin protectant to help heal the skin, keep things off of the skin when you have a mark like this, like that got down to the flesh or to the white meat. Sometimes you'll put like a ointment on, or a petroleum jelly, or like a triple antibiotic ointment, just to keep it clean, keep it from debris sticking to it and things like that. So being that I have this here and I was putting it on my arms, like somebody is protected during their healing process is what I'm getting. And I know I am. I know I am. Oh, this card says 24, and today is the 24th. So that's good. This is my cards. I haven't shuffled through them yet. This is my Oracle deck. I don't know if I'm going to use it yet. This is a journal calendar. It says Herbal Magic, but it just has inside of this book like my manifestations and things like that. I barely use it as a daily planner. But, oh, see, this tells you how to make a protection incense. So there's no bad or black magic in this book. It just teaches you how to protect yourself. Excuse me. And that's funny because I was just talking about protection. So this is here. This is my one and only deck of tarot cards. I'm going to order me a new deck of tarot cards because these are old. Now, they're about 3 years old. Even though I rarely use them, they done got wet and sat out in the sun and stuff. So I need to order me a new deck. However, I don't know if I'm going to use these right now or these. But I'm going to sit them to the side just in case. I got my sun switch right here because I want to listen to a song when I'm done with this video. And it's Estelle, Thank You, because I woke up this morning singing that song. So I'm going to play it before I end this video since I don't get monetized anyway. I don't care about copyrights, and I gave credit to the artist. So I'm going to do that as well. Hi, I'm okay. How are you, Hester? Thank you for watching. But I'm going to jot down the notes that I got this morning. I know y'all tired of seeing me with my bonnet on, but I'm not doing my hair till later on today. I already got it parted up in the sections up under here, so I'll get to that later. Until then, y'all gonna see me in this bonnet. I feel a lot better. I've again took the last week or two to purge and just to give myself time to process the things that I was going through and to heal, to deal with something. And I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm feeling a lot better. So that's good. Darn, I want to give me some orange juice, but I don't really want to stand up at the moment. Hello, Andy. How are you? So, in my dream or my vision that I got last night, well, rather this morning, I woke up this morning singing Thank You by Estelle. We're going to talk about that. But then when I got up to go and use the bathroom, when I sat down to use the bathroom, I kept hearing the word cul-de-sac, cul-de-sac. And I haven't heard the word cul-de-sac since I worked at AAA. And I worked for AAA through the emergency roadside assistance part. So we would receive the call in the call center, and then you would, basically give your greeting. Hello, this is Aaliyah with AAA, Blase Splee. Are you safe? We used to always have to ask first, are you safe? And then once you figure out, or once you establish that your person is safe, then you go ahead and get their location. Where do they need a tow truck sent? Do they need a jump, a tire change, or whatever the case may be? But you always had to ask, if they were at a residence, did they live near a cul-de-sac? And that's because you needed to know what kind of tow truck to send. And a lot of times, if you need a big tow truck or a flatbed, it has complications at a cul-de-sac, because that's where the houses come to, like a dead end. And I remember being in training, and I'm like, what is a cul-de-sac? I never heard of a cul-de-sac. And when my instructor told me what it was, I'm like, oh, you mean a dead end? But it's called a cul-de-sac. And a dead end can be anything on the end of the street. When I was a little kid and we lived in Brightmoor on Rockdale Street, we had a dead end, but it was a dead end because there was a park there. And then on the other side of the park was the service drive. So that's not a cul-de-sac. It's a dead end. But a cul-de-sac is where you have a block. And then at the end of a block is usually like a circle, like a loop around, and it still houses there. Like if you live here in Michigan, we have a lot of cul-de-sacs in Southfield and Oak Park and like Novi and West Bloomfield and things like that. Or if you live in like an estate or gated community, you might live at a cul-de-sac. And one thing about, again, sending a tow truck to a cul-de-sac, it's hard if it's cars parked on the street, or if you need to do a tow from a cul-de-sac and the flatbed is wide, it can be very difficult. So that's why it was very important for me working at AAA at the time to ask if people lived on a cul-de-sac. So when I was sitting on the toilet, I'm like, why am I hearing the word cul-de-sac? And my phone was in the room. So I went and I got my phone and I Googled it. And it says cul-de-sac, a street or passage that is closed at an end. And I wrote dead end or one way out. I also wrote wrong turn, in that someone needs to surrender. And I wrote, when I worked at AAA, tow trucks would have a difficult time with cul-de-sac tows. Another definition was a vessel, tube, or sac open at only one end. And they were using it as an example. They said a lot of women can have cul-de-sacs in their pelvic. And again, I've been taking the last week and a half to deal with something. And I don't really want to talk about it. I don't care to. But if I stand up, you can see, if you've seen my stomach, you can see that it's starting to go down because it was really pregnant looking. Now it's starting to go down. But I have this pouch here, like a cul-de-sac. And they were saying that sometimes women can have ectopic pregnancies and things like that, and it will go into the cul-de-sac. Or a lot of women, their fluid would build up in the pelvic area in the cul-de-sac due to certain reasons or whatever. So God wanted me to look that up or whatever. And I was in the mirror like, even though this is bittersweet for me or whatever, I'm glad my stomach is going back down because it's about to be spring and summertime, and I'm about to be out here looking fine as fuck. But I was also hearing like, don't get too happy because somebody loves you and they want to come and knock you up, and that cul-de-sac is going to be full. I'm hearing you're meant to carry multiples. You're meant to carry multiples. Somebody is meant to carry twins or triplets. But I've been talking about that all week, so I don't really want to talk about that right now. So again, the definition of cul-de-sac was a street or passage that is closed at one end. And if you want to see what I'm talking about, you can Google cul-de-sac, and there's images of cul-de-sacs. It's just a residential street where at one end there's a loop, and you go back and you have to go back. It's one way out, one way in. And with that, I was getting that somebody has finally come to a dead end. They're at a cul-de-sac. And I was hearing Future, it all boils down to numero one. Like you need to go back to where you started or whatever. And I was hearing like somebody had a long run of doing some bullshit that they had no business. But they finally come to a dead end, a cul-de-sac. Like now it's time to turn around. You need to surrender. Put your hands up. You have been caught. Wrong turn, there's no way out, you're trapped. Somebody is at a cul-de-sac. So imagine somebody on a police chase and they trying to flee from the police, so they turn down the residential street thinking that they're going to be able to escape, but then they realize that this residential street is a cul-de-sac. So now you done turned down this street trying to flee from the police, and now they got you trapped. It's nowhere to go because the only way out is to go back the way that you came in, and now that's already blocked off by the police. Somebody is caught. Somebody needs to surrender. This is a dead end. But something told me to go back and read the definition one more time. And when I went back to read the definition one more time, I read further down into the definition. And the example that they gave says, the first 6 months of the investigation were a cul-de-sac for the police. Tips and leads were going nowhere. Tips and leads were going nowhere. The first 6 months of the investigation were a cul-de-sac for the police. Tips and leads were going nowhere. Again, I just said, like, imagine going in a police chase and you go into a cul-de-sac. You caught. But this says there was an investigation going on. God wanted me to read this. An investigation has been going on, and at first it was going nowhere. The police didn't know what to do. The FBI, the CIA, they were getting leads, but all of their leads were leading them to a dead end. They couldn't move forward in this case. But now I'm hearing there's a new sheriff in town. There's someone assisting, a whistleblower, a psychic investigator, a person who is not even qualified to be on the team has now entered the scene, and this case can move on because this person has brought all the evidence, all the proof that you need. So when there once was no way in, there was no way out, only one way in, one way out, and you were stuck, this is like this cul-de-sac is being remodeled. Listen, we got to move on this. It's time to go. We're not stuck anymore. It's time to wrap it up. Actually, we've caught our victim. We caught our suspect. So I wrote, something is about to be returned to the rightful owner. Again, you started off at the beginning where you thought that there was an entry and an exit. But then you go to find out that there is only one way in and one way out. So you have to turn around. You have to right your wrongs. You made a wrong turn. You have to right your wrongs. And the only thing when righting your wrongs, you have to admit to the truth. So you always go back to the starting board. The evidence and proof was always there. You were overlooking it. You needed to hit a cul-de-sac so you could sit and process what was already in front of your face. I'm also hearing the term, like, love is right in front of somebody's face. Like, you're looking, you're praying, but you're overlooking who God has already sent you. So he's making you pause at a cul-de-sac so you can think. And then you can go back and say, oh, God, you was here 2 houses ago. I've been past my kingdom. I've been past my house, my ordained spouse. You are here, but I was overlooking you because I thought that it would have been somebody else. I thought you would have looked different. I thought. And now God is making you think and realize. So again, coming to a dead end, coming to a cul-de-sac, you realize you need to turn around. You left someone behind, or you left something behind, or you left a piece of key evidence and proof that you overlooked. So you need to go back, is what I was getting. And that is what's taking place. Somebody is realizing that the prize is right in front of their eyes. Somebody is also realizing that the evidence and proof has always been there. You just thought that your victim was a liar, and they've been telling the truth. So you need to go back, and you need to apologize, and you need to right your wrongs because you are the one who made the wrong turn. So that's for somebody. Now, to get to the song that I was hearing, Thank You. I woke up singing it, and I thank you. Yes, I thank you for making me a woman. That's the only part that I knew. So I looked up the lyrics and I read the whole song. But what stood out to me is in that song, she says, one thing I learned in life, we all got to be ready to sacrifice to survive. I hope she's happy because you're the chapter that I'll be closing. I hope you're happy because once my door closes, it won't be open. Okay, so in this, it sounds like she's talking about a relationship like, oh, well, we ran our course and it's done and over with now. I hope you're happy and I hope that the woman that you chose over me is happy. That's how the song is saying it. But I was getting a deeper meaning. Again, one thing I learned in life, we all got to be ready to sacrifice to survive. I hope she's happy because you're the chapter that I'm closing. I hope you're happy because once my door closes, it won't open. But I was getting that personally as I thank all the people who betrayed me. You know, because one thing I learned in life is we all got to be ready to sacrifice to survive. And for the last 20 years, I've been living in survival mode. But it's because I wouldn't sacrifice. And you know what I wouldn't sacrifice? The people who I loved. I wouldn't sacrifice them. But those are the same people who were so quick to sacrifice me for $1. I wouldn't sacrifice them because I loved them. They quickly sacrificed me because they did not love me. So the lesson that I needed to learn over the last 20 years is one thing I learned in life, we all got to be ready to sacrifice to survive. In order to save myself, I had to let go of my family, let go of my friends, baby daddies, exes, whoever stood in the way. Those same people who I loved so dearly, I had to sacrifice them. And no, not by killing them, but by dismissing myself from the family, dismissing myself from the relationship, the job, the church, letting go. I had to sacrifice them in order to save myself because they were ready to sacrifice me. So that's what I was getting out of that song. And I thank you for that. I thank y'all for sacrificing me because it made me a woman. It made me reach a dead end. Like, God, why is this happening to me? These are the people I love. Why are they betraying me? Why are they lying on me? Why are they taking money to do fucked up shit to me? I would never do that to them. Why is this happening? But again, it's a part of life. One thing I learned in life, we all got to be ready to sacrifice to survive. You're going to have people like me who the sacrifice is to walk away to save yourself. But you're going to also have people who sacrifice you so they can come up. And you have to sacrifice those people, or it's them or you. I'm hearing Future, you either kill or be killed. Like, you either kill or be killed. You have to sacrifice. And sometimes that shit hurt. It'll kill you. I'm also hearing Future and Feds did a sweep. Like, it's going to kill me just to reminisce. I lost so many niggas to the streets. But it's going to kill me to reminisce on them. Because them the same motherfuckers that was ready to cross me. In the song, you either kill or be killed. That's him and, who is that? He passed away. This particular rapper passed away. Is it Juice WRLD? Juice WRLD. That's Future and Juice WRLD. Lyrical Lemonade. You either kill or be killed. Whatever. In the life we live, there are going to be people to sacrifice you. You're either going to sacrifice them or you're going to be the sacrificial lamb. And that's what I wrote. The betrayal made me a woman, so I thank you. My sacrifice was to let go of my family and friends because they chose to make me the sacrificial lamb. And even for those people who are in the music industry and they say that you have to sell your soul to come up, even if you agreed to sell your soul or write your name on the dotted line, I'm pretty sure you noticed that you made a mistake when you did that. But you need to thank your oppressors. You need to thank the people who tricked you. Because when you got tricked, when you signed your name, and yeah, you got some money and some fame, you started going through a whole bunch of other bullshit that you didn't sign up for. But that made you a man, or it made you a woman when you had to sit down and think about what you did. When you had to sit down and right your wrongs and ponder on why the fuck your life so fucked up, even though you rich. So thank your oppressors. Thank the people who tricked you. Thank the devil who played in your fucking face. Because it made you a woman. It made you a man. So that's what I got out of that. Then I wrote down Beauty Shop with Queen Latifah. I ended up watching that movie yesterday. It just auto played on my YouTube. And I've seen that movie several times as I was younger. It came out in, I believe, It said 2007 or the early 2000s is when that movie came out. So I watched it growing up as a teenager and everything, but I haven't watched it in a long time. And it started playing on my YouTube yesterday. And in the movie Beauty Shop, Queen Latifah, she was trying to buy a shop. She wanted to start a business and she couldn't get a loan. She finally got a loan and it wasn't enough to do what she wanted to do. It wasn't as big as she pictured. She only got $30,000. She ended up having to buy a building. It needed to be renovated. It needed so much work done to it and everything like that. But she still had a dream. So she took the offer that she was given. She took the $30,000 and she did the best that she can do with it. She bought a shop and she got her some paint and she started painting her shop and, setting up her pictures and stuff. And, once she bought the shop, there were already women who worked there. So, she came in, and of course, when you are a new owner or a rookie or a newbie to the block or the area, people look at you funny. Who does she think she is coming over here buying some property and starting a business? This is exactly how people treated me when I got my house on Griggs and I opened up the MILF market. My house was raggedy as fuck. Holes all through the walls and everything. But I got me some paint. Me and my kids, we started cleaning. We started painting. I started putting me up some pictures over the wall, over the big ass holes in the walls that I couldn't cover at the moment. I bought big pretty mirrors, vases and plants, and I put up pictures. And my house was beautiful. It was beautiful. I still needed to do work, but I was working slowly but surely. Then I started selling food. I called myself the MILF Market. I got me an EIN. I registered with the state of Michigan and everything like that. But I was selling food out of my kitchen while cooking dinner for my family. I was cooking dinner for the city. And I was doing very well for myself. I had one room in the back that windows needed to be put in. But that was the add-on room to the house. My house was running. We were up. Me and my kids were on the go. I enrolled them in school. We were new to the block. I had good clientele. I was selling food. Then boom, I let one of my friends come live in my house. And then my house just started going downhill. My basement had flooded. It cost me $1,500 to get my basement pumped out. Somebody had took a whole bunch of socks and stuffed in the drain of my basement. And then it began to flood. Like washing clothes and stuff, and raining. FEMA, I even called FEMA out. FEMA wouldn't help me. So that $1,500 had to come out of my pocket. My friend only gave me $500, which she had been living there with me all this time, and she didn't pay rent. So it wasn't nothing for her to give me the $500 out of $1,500. But I say that to say, then people started breaking into my house, slashing up the beds, pouring grease, cooking oil all on my couches and shit. Like, I was working so hard to fix up my house and to run my business, and I was successful. And it was my own family and friends that came and tore my shit up, that hated on me because they looked at me as competition instead of family. And it was even people in competition with me over cooking and selling food. I never once said I was the best cook. I just said I can cook. Therefore, I want to sell food. And I was very successful at it because I really can cook. And especially when it comes to selling food. And when I got my heart into something, I really do a good job cooking. Now, sometimes I might overcook something, or dang, I don't got all the ingredients and things like that, so it don't come out how I want it to come out. And 9 times out of 10, when it don't come out how I want it to come out, it still come out good. I was doing business with one of my friends one time, and I didn't know how to make zip sauce at the time. And he did. So instead of him making the zip sauce, he made like this caramel kind of sauce or whatever, and he was putting it all over the steak bites or whatnot, and I didn't taste any of the food. But at the end of the day, I happened to taste the zip sauce, and I'm like, this is extra sweet. It's like caramel. It tasted like caramel icing instead of zip sauce. But he was really trying to sabotage my food. I worked with somebody else too who I had did an event for somebody. I catered a baby shower for somebody. But before the baby shower, I had also had a seafood boil that I had made for somebody, and I needed to deliver it. So I left my friend at the house with the food that I had prepped for the baby shower. And I was doing a baby shower for one of my old classmates, and she specifically said that her mother doesn't like spicy food. So, can I please make sure that none of the food is spicy? And I'm like, okay, cool. I had finished up my delivery for the seafood boil, and I went to go and deliver it. But by the time I got back to the house and it was time for me to pack up the stuff to take to the baby shower, when we get to the baby shower, I noticed that all of the people are saying that the shrimp are spicy. I never used no spices. But my quote unquote friend, Jarena, had put a whole bunch of cayenne pepper and shit over the shrimp. When my client specifically said she didn't want no spicy food. My own friend, who I thought, went and put a whole bunch of cayenne pepper on the shrimp. So therefore, all the people at the baby shower were like, oh my God, it's so spicy, it's so spicy. And I'm sitting there like, why is it spicy? I made sure I didn't use no spices. But the whole time, she knew exactly what she did. Also, in the middle of serving the people, Jarena got on the phone, all extra loud, like, girl, your baby daddy did what? Mind you, I'm catering an event, purposely trying to ruin my reputation and sabotage my business. I had set out my clothes the night before on the way there. Do you know my clothes was missing? I had to run to the dollar store and grab me a shirt. My daughters had to run and just throw on anything so we could even get there to drop this food off, to cater this food. But it was people in my life who I considered to be my friends that were intentionally sabotaging my stuff. They were intentionally sabotaging the food before it got to my clients so that they can have something to complain about. I noticed this. And that's what I'm saying. In the movie Beauty Shop, Queen Latifah, she was working hard at Jorge's shop. And he wasn't treating her right. So she finally got the courage to start her own shop. And when he noticed that she was doing good at a shop that was in the same neighborhood as him, and some of his clients was going to her shop, he intentionally started paying the inspector to come and say, oh, well, this is wrong in your shop. This is wrong in your shop. Writing her tickets and fines when she had just got there. She was just trying to get off her feet. Then, when she was still pushing through all of that, he eventually paid to have her shop vandalized, to have somebody come and break out the windows and start tearing up all the furniture in her shop. That's exactly what happened to my house on Griggs. People come by busting out my kids' room windows. Coming in again, breaking in my house, tearing up the couches, pouring cooking oil in the couches, tearing up my son's beds, busting out the windows and shit. All because I was successful on my own. I wasn't no begging ass bitch. But they were doing that because they were stealing from me. And they was telling people that I wasn't successful when the whole time they were sabotaging me behind the scenes. But just like in Beauty Shop, you are going to have those people who hate on you. You're going to have those people. Just like the girl, she was a white girl, but she was really good at doing hair. They at first tried to make it seem like she didn't belong. She was great at doing hair. This is a beauty shop where people come to get their hair done. So why is she not welcome here? Because she's white? And they ended up saying, like, one of the girls was telling her, like, well, you need to look black. Like, stop looking like a white girl. So they did her hair all up in some a black girl hairstyle. But that's one thing that she didn't have to do. Be yourself. You don't have to look black in order to do a black girl's hair. It's this one white girl who used to come up on my Facebook timeline. She used to braid the fuck out of black girls' hair. Better than half these black females. She could braid better than me. But she's white. Just because she's white does not mean she can't do a black girl hair. Just because I was young, black, a single mama and stuff doesn't mean that I'm not worthy of living out my fucking dreams just because you feel like I shouldn't. And again, people would like to see you do good long as you're not doing better than them. But sometimes you're better than them. Just flat the fuck out. It's the truth. Sometimes you're better than other people. That don't mean you walk around with your nose tooted up in the air, but it just means that you know who you are. And then when it comes to cooking, I know I can cook. When I'm in my own house or I'm in a good space, a nice kitchen and stuff, I got everything I need. Bitch, I don't give a fuck if you went to culinary school, if you cater for Jay-Z and Beyonce or Donald Trump. Bitch, I know how to cook. I do. All I need to do is have all the things that I need, all the pots, all the ingredients, all the spoons, spatulas, and that I need. Pray to my ancestors and turn on the music, and it's on and popping. I don't even need no assistance. It's times when my friends helped me because she lived at my house. But again, I ran this shit by my motherfucking self. That's why on the MILF Markets registration, is my name on there? Because that was my business, my idea. I came up with the name. It was my house, my food, my ingredients, my recipes. And people was trying to take credit for my work. Even my friend Alexandria, who went to culinary school, by the way, she can't cook better than me. And she would say that all the time. But even out of her mouth, she was like, well, I want to do a spinoff and call myself the MILF Cafe. If you want to go sell food, go sell food. But why the fuck you want to use my name? It was my own friends trying to sabotage me. It was my own friends paying people to break into my house, fuck up my furniture, fuck with my food. It was my own friends specifically putting seasonings on food that I told them not to sabotage my reputation. It was all organized crime. It was all planned out. And just like in the movie Beauty Shop, the little boy caught the man on camera paying the inspector to take money to fuck with somebody's business. And people will do that to you because they find you as competition. She wasn't paying Jorge no attention. She left his shop and moved on with her life. He started paying her attention. Like, if you're doing so much better than me, why are you coming to criticize me? And that's the same thing I say about my family and my old friends to this day. I don't follow them on social media. I don't have their numbers. I don't ride past their houses. I don't do anything. I don't even know what the fuck they got going on in life. If I do mention them, like how I have cards that say makeup artist and stuff like that, and now I might say something like, oh, I got a cousin that's a makeup artist. But other than that, I don't know what my cousins or what my family have going on because I don't talk to none of them. I don't even have my Facebook anymore. But when I did, I deleted and blocked all of them. So it's no reason that my family, who sabotaged me and stole from me, should be coming to my YouTube channel or Facebook page to criticize me. Not what I say, not how I look, not how I raised my kids, or where I live. Especially when you was the one who stole from me. And especially since I don't take time out of my day to come and look at you and see what you got going on. You shouldn't take the time out of your day to come and criticize what the fuck I got going on. But that's what happens. When people sabotage you, they can't stay out of your business. When people lie on you, they can't stay out of your business. When people intentionally do shit to you, they can't leave you alone. It doesn't be the other way around. So that's one thing I was realizing again while watching Beauty Shop. It's like, damn. And it's so relatable to me because I experienced that. The same ones you worked in the field with is the same ones that take money to sabotage you. Instead of working with you and you can come up and then you can bring them up too, they want to take charge. Oh, I deserve this more than her. And they put themselves in competition. I don't have not one female friend that didn't put themselves in competition with me. Again, I don't have not one female friend that didn't put themselves in competition with me. I didn't compete with them. I didn't think I was better than them. They thought it. They knew it. So they put themselves in competition. And when they still realized that they were not winning, they started cheating, sabotaging, stealing, and taking and paying bribes. It's just facts. The same thing that happened to Jesus. And speaking of, I say it all the time, I'm Jesus reincarnated. I'm just a woman. So maybe I'm Mary Magdalene. And I said it in one of my posts last night. In India Arie's song, Truth, there's a part where she said, I feel like I knew you from a past life. Like maybe I was your husband and you were my wife. Granted, she's a woman. She was saying in her past life, it's like I was your husband and you were my wife. Meaning she was a man and her husband was a woman. But now in this lifetime, the roles are The roles are reversed. They're switched. Now she's the woman and she's the wife. And he's the man and he's the husband. But in the past life, it was the other way around. I believe in reincarnations. I believe in past lives. And I say it all the time, I'm Jesus in the flesh, which is why when I turned 30, everybody betrayed me. They said I would be dead by 32 because they didn't want me to see 33. I made it to 33, and instead of being hung to the cross and nailed to that bitch, I carried that motherfucker for myself as well as my whole generation, my whole bloodline. I carried the cross. I survived, and I refused to be crucified this lifetime. How can I make it through all the witchcraft, all the setups, all the traps and shit? Because I was crucified in my last lifetime. This lifetime, I remember what happened to me, so I refuse to let it happen again. Earlier last week or something, my son we just randomly was in the room, and he was like, Mommy, is the Titanic real? And I'm like, yes, the Titanic was really real. That was a true story. He was like, oh. He's like, I thought it was just a movie. I'm like, we gonna watch Titanic later on. And about 2 or 3 days later, it was on YouTube. So I just made my sons watch it until they, went to sleep. Mari happened to watch the whole movie. Now, last night, this story, and I shared it on my community board or whatever. This young white male, his story popped up. It came off of Lifetime Movie Network. And it was called The Ghost Within My Child or something like that. And it was a boy, and his family was telling a story about he watched the Titanic when he was little. And after he watched the Titanic, he just kept drawing the ship. And he would have dreams of the ship. And he was saying things like, well, the ship sank because of this, or it went wrong because of this. Meanwhile, he was a young boy. He never should have knew what went wrong with the Titanic other than what he saw in the movie. And then one of his parents, either his mother or his aunt or some guardian, was watching him one night. And she said that he was over his bed screaming as if he was on the Titanic and it was sinking. And, they showed a later clip as he grew up and he was 19 years old. And he was saying that he believed that he is reincarnated and that he's the guy who helped design the Titanic. And he was saying, like, the guy who designed the Titanic as it was sinking, he wouldn't get off the boat. He wouldn't even get on a rescue boat. He wanted to die with the ship that he created. And the boy was saying, like, I really feel like that was me in a past life, which is why my dreams were so vivid, which is why I couldn't let it go. And he was saying, I would have stayed on the ship too. If I built it and it sank, I would have stayed on it too. And he was like, they basically have the same traits, the same morals and things like that. And if you ask me, they looked alike if you looked at the young teenager opposed to the picture that they had of the guy who did create the Titanic. They looked similar to me, except the boy had long blonde hair. So I definitely believe in reincarnation, and I say it all the time that I am Jesus in the flesh. Like, you need to be careful how you treat me, because I'm that nigga. I'm that one. I'm just a female. So one thing we also learning about life is a lot of stuff that they teach us doesn't happen to be the truth. It be the other way around. And that just makes me think of this joke where people be like, I'm starting to wonder if Eve is the one who ate the apple. Because if that's the case, why do men have an Adam's apple? Adam probably was the one who ate the apple. You see? And Jesus probably was really a female. You never know. Because that's the joke. Adam probably was the one to eat the apple. That's why they got Adam's apple. You see? So you must definitely believe. I ain't telling you what to believe in, but I personally believe in reincarnations. I guess I see you next lifetime. I guess I see you next lifetime. A lot of people sing about this. A lot of people, excuse me, my voice was cracking. I haven't drunk nothing all day today or nothing either, but I did brush my teeth and stuff. So anyway, matter of fact, let me take some water. Move. I guess I see you next lifetime. I definitely believe in it. And I believe that I could have been Jesus or Mary Magdalene in my past life. Which is why I can tell the story so good and in many different forms. And that's why I understand why in barbershop, excuse me, Cedric the Entertainer was saying Jesus is a pimp and Mary was a hoe. Shit be deep. And also, again, the disciples not really caring for Mary because she was a female and she knew just as much as Jesus and the disciples. And Peter didn't like that. Like, why is Jesus telling this female all the secrets? You know, but he loved her. I'm also hearing Masons and Muslims. Masons, Muslims. And you know how Masons... I'm hearing switch the roles. Switch the roles. A lot of stories are told in ways to deceive you. Is what I'm hearing. So that was that. On this, I wrote this some days ago. I did a video, I mean not days ago, months ago. I did a video talking about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And that happens to be on the next page after the notes that I took this morning. And I titled it The Golden Ticket. It says, Willie wanted to build a proper factory. I want to build my business the proper way, a new factory. And I looked at that in the form of like things being ran the right way. New World Order. The factories replaced the workers with machines, causing families to go into poverty. Now, in the movie Willy Wonka, that's what happened. He started a factory. He was very successful selling candies, chocolate, and everything like that. And he had a plant full of workers. They were all doing very well. Like, it was a privilege to work at the Willy Wonka chocolate factory. But then, you know, he was being so... Thank you, God. He was so successful, and people wanted the recipes to his candy. And he had one of his own workers who he paid so well and provided great benefits. One of his own workers sold him out and gave away the recipes to his candy, causing his business, the Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory, kind of like to go out of business, sales to go down and things like that. Then they said they replaced the workers with machines because he realized, I can't trust nobody. Like, I pay y'all good. I give y'all good benefits. I make sure y'all live well, and it's one of y'all who betrayed me. Everybody got to fucking go. So in the chocolate factory, everybody ended up having to find them another job. They were laid off. And he replaced the workers with machines because he realized he couldn't trust nobody. So when he replaced the workers with the machine, it caused the families who worked for the chocolate factory kind of like to go into poverty. And in that movie, Charlie, his grandpa used to work at the chocolate factory. So he was reminiscing on the days of working there, the taste of the candy, and how nice it was to work for Willy Wonka. Well, Willy Wonka got to the point where he was older. He had went through the stage of isolation, where he closed everybody out the chocolate factory, they never opened up the doors again. He just shipped his product out. Where before, he would allow the workers to come in. So he decided, like, you know, I've been in isolation enough. And in the chocolate factory, in Willy Wonka, he was like, I realized I couldn't trust nobody. I made everybody leave me alone. But now I've been isolated enough. I'm filthy fucking rich. I want to be happy. I want to share my wealth with somebody. So he sent out, I think it was 5 golden tickets. He had wrapped them up in the chocolate bars. And he sent them all over the world. And he said he wanted whatever 5 people that unwrapped the golden ticket, he was going to allow them into the chocolate factory. Nobody knew why or anything like that. So he sent the tickets out, and you know, the people, they started buying up the chocolate, buying up the candy, because everybody wanted one of these golden tickets. Everybody wanted to get into the chocolate factory. So when the 5 people were selected, there was Charlie. Charlie was poor as fuck. His grandfather, however, used to work at the Willy Wonka chocolate factory. So his grandfather really wanted him to experience what it was like. He took his last, I don't know, 50 cents or however much it was, and he gave it to Charlie. And he said, I want you to go out and I want you to buy a chocolate bar. and he bought a chocolate bar for his birthday. And he opened it up, and there was no golden ticket. And he was kind of sad. And his family was sad that he was sad. And, they were so poor that the only thing he got for his birthday was the chocolate bar. And because he had such a good heart, he wanted to split the chocolate bar with his family. And they loved each other so much. Like, they were so poor and they were in poverty. If you watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the latest version, they were sleeping in the bed all together. Charlie, his mom, his dad, and his two grandparents. They all slept in one bed together. They ate cabbage soup every night for dinner because that's all that they could afford. His father had a dead-end job that wasn't really making any money. He worked for a toothpaste factory, I believe. And the toothpaste factory, then, they didn't really need the help because they were about to place the employees with machines. So they were in such poverty. And, they spent their last on this chocolate bar, and it didn't have the golden ticket. So he shared it with his whole family. And in the midst of him going out, a few days as they were still searching for the person to grab the last ticket, he ended up getting a chocolate bar. I think he ended up finding some money on the ground, and he took the money that he found and he went and bought another chocolate bar. And he opened it right then and there, and he had a golden ticket. So he was the last chosen child that would be able to come into the chocolate factory. And his parents and his grandparents were so proud. They were so happy that he would finally get to experience something other than being trapped into a house that was falling apart and is stuck in poverty. So he gets the golden ticket, and boom, he's the last one. So once all of the 5 people are gathered, they have a certain date and time to meet at the chocolate factory before the gates are open. And because his granddad once worked there when he was younger, his granddad went with him to the chocolate factory because you had to bring at least one of your parents or a guardian. And when they got there, he was still the poorest child. He came from nothing. Everybody else was rich, snotty. They were spoiled brats. Their parents were rich. And like one of the boys, his parents just bought him tons and tons and tons of chocolate bars until he found the golden ticket. When Charlie, he only had 2 bars. And he got the golden ticket off a wing and a prayer. But he was surrounded by these 4 other children who grew up in lavish lifestyles. They were spoiled. They never had to work for nothing. They never knew what it was like. They had all the gaming systems, the nicest clothes and everything. While Charlie, he had scraps. He didn't have any toys. He didn't have nothing but love. That's all he knew was love. But that's why they say the best thing in life is free. Because that love got him to where he needed to be. Anyway, they go in the chocolate factory. Willy Wonka, he only has a few rules that he wants them to follow. But these snotty ass kids that was brought up in these rich lifestyles, they don't know how to follow rules. They think that they shit don't stink. And that was all a part of learning. When you went to the chocolate factory, you had to learn some life lessons while you were in there, even though it was only for one day. But nobody knew that Willy Wonka was inviting them to the chocolate factory because he wanted to leave the chocolate factory to somebody that he felt deserved it. Somebody who he felt like wouldn't betray him, wouldn't sabotage his morals that he ran his business off of. He wanted somebody who knew what it meant to love others. And that was the secret. The ultimate test. Just like in the Bible, the ultimate test is loyalty and faithfulness. There's an ultimate test of life, and it's to prove your loyalty, to prove your love, to prove your faithfulness when there's so much temptation in front of you. To be strong enough to say no, or strong enough to say yes. Those are the life lessons. So, all these other kids, they in the chocolate factory, they breaking the rules. They're not listening. They're being greedy. They're basically committing the 7 deadly sins. While Charlie was very meek, very humble, very appreciative to be in the presence of Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. And just like the Bible says, you will inherit the earth, my meek and humble servants. Charlie ended up inheriting Willy Wonka's chocolate factory because he was meek. He was humble. He knew the meaning of love. He knew the meaning of good character. So at the end, he found out that the whole purpose of all the bullshit that he went through and his family being in poverty and things was so they can see who was really deserving. And granted, he was poor as fuck, without a dime to his name. Fuck a dollar to my name. Without a dime to my name. He became the richest boy because he inherited wealth from one of the richest people. Because he was able to teach that rich man morals. Go back to the dentist, because Willy Wonka's father was a dentist. And he grew up disliking him because he didn't want him eating candy like that because he was a dentist. But Charlie had to teach him, like, you know, he's telling you this because too much candy would have ruined your teeth. And if you watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the man who plays Willy Wonka, is his name like Leonardo DiCaprio or something? I don't know. But he has perfect teeth in the movie. But his father didn't want him ruining his teeth with all of the candy. So he grew up making a shitload of candy. But Charlie was telling him, like, no, this is love. Like, sometimes our parents teach us things and we can't figure out, like, why are you saying I can't do this? I want to do this. Like, damn, my mama must hate me. My daddy must hate me. But no, they love you. And that's why they're telling you not to do it. So, it's one story told many different ways. Life lessons are going to be taught to you regardless. You have to just take heed to the warnings. People are going to betray you regardless. Like, our life is set up for somebody to betray us because you need to learn the life lessons that people out here will betray you. The closest people to you. As long as your stupid ass walk around thinking that you don't got a Judas in your life, you will forever be betrayed behind your back. So, Jesus in the flesh, reincarnated. Yes, I am. That's why I'm quick to say, I am, I am. I'm quick to say I'm one of the only begotten. God's strongest soldier. The one and only. That's me. I am Jesus reincarnated in the flesh. I don't give a fuck what you say. You can't take it away from me. You might steal my physical identity, but you can't take what's in my heart. You can't take what's in my memory. My Akashic record. You can't fuck with it. You can't steal my destiny. And I'm here to tell my story. I'm here. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Hove. H to the O-V. And I'm also hearing, you know me. I don't need no introduction to shit. Because this ain't my first rodeo. This ain't my first lifetime. Bitch, you remember when you crucified me, ho? Well, I'm back. Like an avenging angel. To teach people to know their worth. To teach people that it's some Judases out here. And to open your fucking eyes. To help people that was betrayed and nailed to the cross. That's my job. Because they thought they nailed me to the cross and I never get up. I woke the fuck back up and carried that bitch. Went into isolation and came back a beast. So much of a beast that they called me Satan. The devil. Again, they say Jesus and Satan were brothers. But were they brothers? Or were they one person? One in the light, one in the dark. Because we all have a light side and we all have a shadow side. Just like in Sonic. You got Sonic, you got Shadow. Again, they put the movies out here to tell us what the fuck is going on. All you got to do is be smart enough to crack a code. But you know, you geniuses who got all these degrees, y'all the dumbest motherfuckers that can't crack these fucking codes. Anywho. And it says, are you a dummy? Would you trade your ticket for money? Charlie's granddad asked him, like, are you a dummy? Because when he finally did get a golden ticket. Hold on. Go sit down. What? I know you. Fifi, you got to fucking go, girl. You got to go. Get Lavina. No, Lavin, go sit down. This like my staff. Go sit down. Get back up there. Who is over here? Get Cosmo Jr. Go lay down. Fatty. Now you done learn how to get your ass on the couch and now you want to be scared to get down. Lavina. No, Lav. I want Lavina. Oh, hi, Mama. Hi, Lavina. I have to get rid of my grandpups, guys. I need to sell them. I just love them so much. This one is Lavina. This the one that I said looked just like my dog, but he didn't like her at first because she was a girl and she looked just like him. That's so funny. But now he want to be all over here up in her space. Okay, get out. Get out the kitchen. Anyway, so yeah, one story told many, many different ways. And I learned a lot in these 35 years that I've been living. And one thing that I must say is life can be so simple. And we are the ones who make it hard. Because once you start cracking these codes, the codes of the Bible, get out. The codes in these Disney movies, the codes that are made in these movies that are put out by the Illuminati, by the way. You realize, like, damn, life could be so simple if we had just did this or had did that. Yes, get out of my space. But due to the powers that be, because of the powers that be, they purposely make things difficult for us. The powers that be, the government and the elites, those are the Judases in our lives. They're the Judas in our lives. This bonnet being on like this reminds me of the little hat that they used to have on in Aladdin. So yeah, those are the notes that I took down this morning. Oh, I was also hearing Fatal Attraction. You see my dogs, they fight and they distracted me. And she's my baby. This is my baby. I might keep her. She's small too. Lavina. I feel like we got a bond. Because her daddy ain't like her and my daddy ain't like me. And she looked just like her daddy and I look just like mine. So I got a bond with her out of all of the puppies. Where bro? Mumu? Who is this? Mumu and Cosmo Jr. Y'all about to get y'all ass whooped. Your tails. Hey, Blackie. No. My brother said somebody seen Blackie and they want to buy Blackie. His name Debo. Don't he look like a... I don't know how to pronounce it. I can ask me when I say it, but I was hearing Fatal Attraction as well. And somebody has an ex that has a fatal attraction to them. Like they don't want to see them date anyone else. I'm hearing this man, and it's a man. He sits on the corner of this person's block, of this woman's block. He pays people to watch her and tell her every move and things like that. He's psycho. So somebody needs to be careful of that. And I have an ex who has a fatal attraction to me. Like he intentionally tell guys lies about me. He's one of those people like, well, if I can't have her, nobody can. He be telling lies on me. I heard him through the grapevine. You know? And I've even seen him act a certain way in my face when I'm thinking we don't go together no more, but we still cool, we still friends, and I just think I could share some good news with him or something, and I notice like, oh no, you a hater. You don't fuck with me for real. It's like if I'm not with you, you don't want to see me doing good. But because you was on some bullshit, that's why I'm not with you. And you don't know how to take accountability for your actions. But instead of righting your wrongs and admitting the truth, you would rather spread lies and prevent other guys from trying to talk to me. So bad, like somebody hates you so bad they start telling lies like, oh, she got HIV, don't fuck with her. When the whole time I don't have that. That's a fatal attraction. And I've experienced that exact scenario, to be exact. This same guy, I used to be seeing him pop up at places that he should not even known that I was there. He was spreading lies, telling people that I had a disease that I didn't have. Spreading lies, telling people that I was trying to trap a baby on him and I wouldn't stop harassing him and showing up to his place of business when that's what he was doing to me. Hey, mama. So, somebody out here needs to be aware of people like that. I was also hearing organization. And I was hearing it in the form of, hey. I was hearing it in the form of Muslims and Masons. Muslims and Masons. And there's a guy out here that is a Muslim Mason. I don't know if you can be a Muslim and a Mason, or if being a Muslim requires you to be a Mason, or a Mason requires you to be a Muslim. I don't know how none of that shit work. But I was hearing a group of Muslim Mason men, the triple M's. They're Muslim, they're Mason, and they're men, and they've been targeting me, a woman. But I'm hearing it's because they think that I'm too strong. They think that I think too highly of myself and that I should be broken. They think that I should be submissive to being in a polygamous relationship, or I should be one who allows my husband to have multiple wives. It's like somebody wants me to be a part of that. And because I wouldn't be a part of that, they decided to target me instead. A way to humble me. Don't run. Ears, get your ass and lay down. Okay. So they decided to humble me instead. Like, oh, first of all, we're not about to have no bitch have more money than us. And we're not about to let a bitch tell us that we can't have more than one wife. And I don't give a fuck if you polygamy or not, or polygamist or not, or polygamy, or however you want to say it. That don't have shit to do with me. And just like you telling me that I can't tell you you can't have multiple wives, you can't make me be your wife. And that's why there's a few men out here that hate me. Because they're Mason, Muslim men who feel like they have the right to have multiple wives, and I refuse to be one of their multiple wives. So they target me instead. And that's crazy. But that's what I've been dealing with. Muslim Mason men targeting me because I won't be humble enough to be a second or third wife. And I had a man, this same man who I'm talking about, actually, he was like, well, what if I buy you a house and put you in a house and you can live in your own house, but you would still be basically my girlfriend, my wife, even though I'm going to live with my other wife and kids. Bitch, I want a husband. I want a man that come home to me every night after being with his friends or going to work or whatever he do throughout the day. I don't want to share you with another woman. And because I don't want to share you with another woman, I'm okay with being the woman that's not chosen. But then that don't give you the right to turn around and make my life a living hell. And speaking of, his girlfriend was the one who said, we're going to make your life a living hell. Because I don't want to be a part of that bullshit. And that's what I've been going through over the last couple of years too. A fatal attraction. Where somebody won't leave me alone because I got more money than them. I'm supposed to have more money than them. They stole it. And then put me in a fake marriage that I didn't agree to be in. I said I didn't want to be a polygamist. I don't believe in sister wives and shit like that. So him and his bitch decided to harass me while bringing other wives and shit into their fuckery. But they just can't leave me alone. Yes, it's true, Blackie. Yes. Yes. So, yeah. Dealing with that. I've been dealing with that. So somebody, cut it out. See, and they getting caught for this. They fighting about it now because the truth is being exposed. Speaking of how I started this video off talking about cul-de-sacs. I forgot that hole right there. Who is it? Who is it? This leg chair went into the vent. But, yeah. This stuff is being exposed. It's being exposed. And it's being exposed because this couple, this polygamist group, this occult of niggas who got multiple wives won't leave me alone. To the point that they started a whole RICO. They wanted to steal from me, lie on me, put hits out on me, all because I didn't want to be in a polygamous relationship. Stole my identity, harassed me. This is fatal attraction at its finest and the world's dumbest criminals. And that's what's about to be exposed in this RICO crime, that one of my exes and his baby mama and group of wives are behind stealing from me, and they won't leave me alone. That's what's about to be exposed. And that they've been doing this for like the last 10 years, 7 years. They've been doing this. That's what's about to be exposed. And I know who these people are. They going down for RICO. The dumbest criminals in the city of Detroit, the state of Michigan. They're going down. And because they got family in Arizona, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, and all of that, and they involved all of these people are getting exposed. The family is losing their jobs, the lawyers that they involve, the judges and things like that. And speaking of, the guy who I'm talking about, his sister is a lawyer. You get what I'm saying? So for my son, Mally, is about to turn 7 this year. Again, for the last 7 to 10 years, these people have been harassing me, stealing from me, lying on me, putting me in false marriages. This one card is sticking out. It says self-employed boss, self-taught, self-made millionaire. They've been stealing my money, though. Stealing my content, stealing my videos, exploiting me on the dark web. All because I didn't want to be a part of their polygamous ass shit. This is what they did to me. Harass me, harass my children. Again, break into my house, steal my house, vandalize my property, vandalize my cars. This is what I've been dealing with. And it's about to be exposed to the world. Because I'm hearing this shit going viral. A detective finally decided to do their job, and they realized that I've been telling the truth the whole time. That one of my exes and his baby mama been stealing from me and won't leave me alone. And they started a whole organization, a group, to work against me, to lie on me. Meanwhile, this group just mad that I don't want to be a part of their bullshit. And somebody's name is Miss Smiley. This was my DHS's worker, my old DHS worker. Cut it out! This was my old DHS worker supervisor name. So you see, they was even using the government officials and stuff to torture me. Because this was their cousins and shit like that. This is going down in history. This is going down in history. This says self-employed boss, self-made, self-taught millionaire. And today is the 24th. These are the only cards that I pulled out. Because I'm hearing we about to wrap this shit up. And I started this video off talking about a cul-de-sac in a dead-end street. And when the definition kept going, they said the definition for cul-de-sac, the sentence that they gave is the first 6 months of the investigation were a cul-de-sac for the police. Tips and leads were going nowhere. But you see, that shit coming to an end, a dead end. You have to turn around, put your hands up, put your hands behind your back. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do will be used against you in the court of fucking law. So now it's time to go to court because you've been caught. And I'm about to win this. So you can stop watching tarot readings. I'm telling you right now, you're about to lose this court case. You're going to prison. And all of my millions is about to be returned back to me. It's always been my purpose and always been my destiny to be rich as fuck. Because I am the chosen one. And that's what you're going to learn. I'm here, you're going to learn today. And that's so funny because this 24 card came out and today is the 24th. You're going to learn today that you should have never fucked with me. I'm Jesus in the flesh, bitch. I come from royal, loyal DNA. Royal lineage. I was born rich. I should have never been struggling. I should have never had to be poor or in poverty. But I thank God for being poor and being in poverty. Because just like I said, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, because he was in poverty, he learned life lessons while everybody else was out enjoying everything else. And that poverty mindset gave him a rich mentality. Therefore, he became rich. So, yes, I'm about to get my shit. I'm about to get my shit. This says 144,000. We're a family. I just told you. I'm that nigga. I come from royal DNA. I am the lineage. I am the chosen one. Even out of the 144,000, I'm that one. And that's what everybody about to fuck around and find out. They say, rip me out the plastic. I've been acting brand new. Yeah, because in my last lifetime, I was Jesus. This lifetime, I'm Mary Magdalene. The one who was warning Jesus. And that's how I made it through all the trials and setups this lifetime. Because I learned from the last. This say Mary Jane, but I'm hearing Mary Magdalene. See, she was telling them, you can't trust all your disciples. You can't trust that Judas motherfucker. And Peter is a hater. They worship Satan. They gonna backstab you, Jesus. Don't do it. Don't do it. So guess what? This time, I learned the lessons and said, fuck them hoes. This said, you raggedy bitch. But this is the number 23. That was yesterday. And this is the drum roll, please. I'm telling you. And today is the 24th. And being that this is 23, 24 is going in numerological order. Or however the fuck you say that shit. It's going the right way. In alignment. I'm in alignment with my purpose. I'm in alignment with my destiny. I'm here now. Get ready to have them twins. I'm supposed to have twins. I'm hearing it too. Like, somebody's about to double ovulate. And I was dreaming about that too. Double ovulating, like 2 eggs coming out when you ovulate. And at the current moment, I'm not pregnant. That's why I had to deal with something over the last couple of weeks. But I'm hearing, get ready. Get ready. Because God is about to send you a spouse. And with this spouse, you are supposed to have children. And it also brings me back to the cul-de-sac. Like, you're going to get ready to carry a sack with 2. One of them's going to be a girl. And I said somebody's going to have either 2 to 3 kids. This card is torn at one corner, but you see it has 3 hearts. I'm hearing 3 heartbeats. Somebody's going to have triplets. No, it ain't going to be me. The twins, maybe. The triplets, now, look, Lord, you're doing a bit much. Shit. This says mission complete, well done. And this says divine masculine. See, my mission is complete now. You can get down. So now God is about to give me the divine masculine and bless me with the children. And it's because the divine masculine wants children. It's part of our mission anyway, to start the bloodline over. To start Genesis 2.0. Somebody is in court. This says Judge Judy Joe Brown and Judge Mathis. I said it. I'm about to be a millionaire. I'm about to get all of my motherfucking millions back. Self-employed millionaire, self-taught boss. I can't never make the shit up. I never would make the shit up. I always was supposed to be rich. And when I turned 30, I was really supposed to be rich. I put in blood, sweat, and tears, bitch. I swear to God. I cannot let nobody take my destiny and what belongs to me. I don't give a fuck if it took me 5 years of telling the same story over and over and over again. I'm going to tell it till I get my shit. And I'm hearing mission complete. Well done. And they mad too. Montgomery Brawl. Ooh, they hating. They fighting. I'm hearing my fingers. They itching. They itching for that paper. Yes, my fingers itching for my motherfucking paper that I shouldn't even be waiting on. But this court case that's going on in Alabama and shit, and Detroit, Atlanta, Texas, and all that is causing a brawl. They turning on each other. The judges, the lawyers, the prosecutors, the detectives. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down in a city or a state, in a town or a country, a county near you. It's going down. Maybe Arizona too. I just said somebody went to Arizona. I'm here, yeah, they went to Arizona and put you in that fake ass marriage with that fake ass lawyer. So yeah, Arizona is going down. Montgomery, Alabama is going down. Meet me in the trap. It's going down. They is not playing Ray Charles to the bullshit no more. Everybody see what the fuck is going on. Ain't nobody blind around this bitch. And what this one say? Champ. I'm impressed. Undefeated. I said I'm going to get my shit back. I'm getting my shit back. I'm hearing Nicki Minaj. I don't care how long it take to get her back. I swear to God, I don't give a fuck. I've been telling my story since 2020. It's 2026, bitch. 6 whole years for me to get y'all to understand this. For y'all to get this through y'all thick ass heads. They was targeting me. They were stealing from me. They put a hit out on me. They put life insurance out on me. They stole my money. They X'd me out of a wheel. They stole my house. They tampered with my cars. They've been fucking with my children. The police are involved. I've been calling the cops. I wrote the FBI. I wrote the news. All in the last 6 years. But today, on February 24th, 2026, you motherfuckers gonna learn some shit. That I ain't been lying. That I've been telling the truth. That I'm part of the 144,000 and that I've been a millionaire. So you was disrespecting who? Jesus? Treating me like I wasn't shit? Saying that I wasn't worthy? And I'm that one? I don't think you knew what you did. I don't think you know who the fuck I am. Who my daddy is and who my brother is for real. So yes, that's the message. And I'm going to end it with the song that I started with, that I woke up singing this morning before I turned on anything. I woke up out of my sleep saying, so I thank you for making me a woman. So I'm going to play that song for you guys. I don't give a fuck about the copywriting. I don't get monetized. And I gave credit to the artist, Estelle. She made the song in 2012. And she's thanking people for breaking her heart. I thank you, motherfuckers, for breaking my heart. I thank y'all for betraying me, for thinking I was a liar, for saying that I wasn't nothing. Because that shit broke me. And I built myself back up 10 times stronger after carrying the fucking cross that y'all thought y'all crucified me to. I thank you for making me a woman. And now God is about to give me my divine masculine. And also in that song, she says, like, I had to protect my soul. You know, once you sell your soul or you lose yourself or you lose your soul, it's still a part of you. That's why I say you can never sell your soul. She was saying, like, I protected my soul with my heart. My soul protected me, basically. Like, through the betrayal and all that, you can lose yourself. Cracked it again on you raggedy bitch, but mission complete, well done. I thank my haters, you raggedy bitches, but I beat the test. This says 3. I'm hearing the Holy Trinity. I have become one with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Which is why I can talk to the dead, and I can talk to my daddy, and I'm the son, aka the daughter, the only begotten. So anyway, it split it again. Oh, mission complete. Well done. I'm telling you. I'm here. I'm so proud of you. That's God and my ancestors and the archangels and shit. They extra proud of me. They proud of me. They proud, and I'm proud of them. I love my ancestors. I swear to God. But you can never sell your soul. You can lose yourself, but that's a part of mission. Our mission is to find ourselves. And one time, the Grand Master, the Master Yoda, he had asked to meet with me. And when I saw him, he said, I only got one question for you. When did you find Jesus? And I looked at him and I said, when I found myself. And he just looked at me. He said, you ready? You ready now? But I am. And I found Jesus when I found myself. And I answered him. I answered that question. I was 34 years old. Or 33, about to be 34. When he asked me that. And he was like, you ready now? You're ready. I found Jesus when I found myself. Because again, I'm Jesus in the flesh, reincarnated for one. So I had to find myself. But again, once you be backstabbed and betrayed, you can lose yourself. Because you spend so much time wondering, why did that happen to you? But then when you figure out why, like, bitch, because I'm him. I'm that nigga. I'm that bitch. Head bitch in charge. When you figure that out, you become a beast. That's why, again, they later on called him Satan. You become a beast at this shit. And now I'm hearing beast mode. Future. Beast mode. 31 days. Somebody about to get a huge ass blessing in less than 31 days. Because again, you been a boss. I know. I have. And that's why me and Future so I was about to say so connected. However, I ain't never met Future a day in my life. Future Future know exactly who I am. I channel him all the time. But anyway, we connected. See, 144,000. We're a family. That's my family. It's like real, recognized real. So a lot of people don't understand Future music and shit, but I do, because that's my people. He cracked codes for a living. He's a smart man. But yes, Jesus was betrayed. He got up off that cross, carried that bitch, went into isolation, figured out why he was betrayed by the closest people to him, and then he popped back up on the scene. Like, excuse me, you know me, I don't need no introduction to shit. But you can call me Satan, bitch, because you ain't like me when I was Jesus. So let me teach you something. But the whole time, Jesus is still within. You have to activate your shadow side when people think they can play up in your fucking face. And now that Jesus done been a beast, he done put these hoes in their place. Mission complete. Well done. You can now inherit the earth. Your millions that been yours since day one. Everybody was just jealous because it was you. This 22. We got 22, 23, 24. I said we moving on up in alignment. And they came out 24, 23, 22. And you see how I said sometimes you got to reverse it. And it all boils down to number 1, numeral 1, the chosen one. It's the countdown that's taking place. But we in alignment. That's what you ought to know. That's what you better know. So yes, that's the message. Okay, I didn't know I was gonna get all of that, but it's true. All facts, 100% facts. Thank you, Father. I swear to God, and I never knew I was gonna get all the messages that I get from off of these index cards that I made up. Oh, look, this even say living legend. And falling in love with Jesus is the best thing I've ever done. And this say president, but I'm hearing you about to get something delivered to you presidential. Like this shit about to come. First of all, I'm hearing you presidential status, but I'm hearing this shit about to come. I'm hearing signed, sealed, delivered by authorities though. Not through the mailman, but by officials, the police. Like I'm hearing the president gonna make sure that I got this piece of mail that I'm supposed to receive. And again, falling in love with Jesus is the best thing I've ever done, says the president as well. Because the president watch my channel and he love who I am. And he about to run me my money. And he said, I can't believe you did all that by yourself. So yes, now you get to get a divine masculine, so you won't have to do things by yourself any longer. Yes, Lord, I know you can. Oh, I know you will. Yes, because I need it. I need me a husband. I need me a good man. And I've been praying for one. And I've been praying for my husband because I know he... Ooh, I split the deck on ring and proposal. Yes, Lord, give it to me. Give it to me, please. I've been praying for my husband. This say coke, because I know that he been battling something that he needed some help getting out of. Whether he be a coke dealer or made a mistake and got addicted to some coke. I've been praying for him so he can break free of the chain that was put on him. I'm hearing, I hear the chains falling. That's Break Every Chain by Tasha Cobbs. I hear the chains falling. The chains are falling off of my divine masculine as well. Because I've been praying for him. Praying that the black magic and the spells are broken off of him. Praying that his eyes are open. And that he sees me for who I am. And that he sees everyone around him for who they are. See, this say ear hustling. But in that song, she say, I hear the chains falling. I hear it ringing loud in my ear. Yeah, the chains is falling off of my husband. See, teamwork make the dream work. He helped set me free. I helped set him free. Twin, where have you been? Here go 21. So we got 21, 22, 23, 24. I'm telling you, the shit is happening. It's happening right now. I hear the chains falling. This says, let the love be genuine. I'm telling you, I'm about to get genuine love. I hear the chains falling. All right, that's the message. And I got all of that from hearing the word cul-de-sac when I was using the bathroom this morning and waking up singing the song Thank You by Estelle, which is what I'm about to play before I exit.
They call us misfits, outsiders, and loners.
This is, they call us misfits, outsiders, and loners. Yeah.
But we are not alone.
But we are not alone.
Look at a world asleep and wake it up with a roar.
This is a commercial for Scat Packs. You see, I'm never alone. I'm here inside of baby, even when I'm by myself. Me is not alone, bitch. I swear to God, surrounded by ancestors and angels.
Sometimes I wonder, do you even recognize the woman that's standing in front of you?
Sometimes I wonder, do you even recognize the woman that is standing right in front of you? Didn't I say at the beginning of this video somebody wasn't realizing the woman that was been in front of them the whole time? Like somebody is about to realize that God put this person in their life.
Sometimes I wonder, do you even care or realize why I took care of you? 'Cause you're my heart, you're my soul. You're my other half, without you I cannot be home, baby. So far apart, I just don't know what your words apart in the first place. Now I know, baby, why these tears I cry sure won't be the last. It will not be the last. Oh, this pain inside never seems to pass. It never seems to pass me by. So I thank you.
Said I thank you. Yes, I thank you for making me a woman.
Sometimes I wonder, could she be more of a woman to you than you are a man to me? Listen.
Sometimes I wonder.
Why me? I'm here miserable while you're out living your fantasies. Didn't care.
Sometimes I wonder why me. I'm here living miserable while you out there living your fantasies. Like, do you even know what God blessed you with? And that's why I said I took the last 2 weeks to deal with some shit that I had to deal with by myself, which I shouldn't have had to deal with by myself. But you out here living your best life. You ignoring me. Like, do you know what you doing? I'm here and be careful with me. Do you know what you're doing? Whose feelings that you hurt and you're bruising? Like, do you know what you was doing to me while I was holding it down mentally, physically? You out here living a vida loca. Do you know what you doing to me, to us? But some people don't know because they lost in the sauce. They under an illusion. They can't see what's right in front of them. And sometimes people catch on before it's too late. And sometimes people end up losing the one thing God blessed them with. So, you're my other half. Without you, I cannot be whole, baby.
So far apart, I just don't know what your words apart in the first place.
Now I know, baby. 'Cause
these tears I cry,
the tears I cry
sure
won't be the last. I cried them bitches too. It never seems to pass me by. So I thank you. Yes, I thank you for making me a woman. Yeah.
One thing I learned in life, you gotta be ready to sacrifice to survive. I hope she's happy. So the chapter that I'll
somebody is going to have to sacrifice somebody too. And I was talking about polygamy and this and everything, but somebody has a karmic female in their life that they've been dragging along with them lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And that's the reason why they haven't moved on to the true love of their life. I'm seeing Oshun, and you know how Oshun had the option between the two men, Shango, and I can't remember the other one's name. But Shango had another girlfriend the whole time. And Oshun was full of love. She was so beautiful and everything, but she became heartbroken. So she flooded them motherfuckers with the river. But sometimes you have to let go of one person who you love to be with the person who you are in love with and who's in love with you, or you will miss your blessing. Somebody has to let go of their ex-wife, baby mama, or even just a fling they knew since high school or something. You have to let that person go if you want to move on into your destiny. And once the door closed, it won't be reopened. But this move is going to make you a woman, and it's going to make you a man. And she said one thing I learned in life is that you have to sacrifice if you want to survive. Somebody has to realize that this person that they think they love, because they got history, they're going to have to sacrifice that person, because that's why you fucked up right now, because you should have been let this person go. And I was just speaking of that. Some of my exes who I was still cool with, no, you got to let them go, because you may be cool with them, but they can have a fatal attraction to you, holding you up from your God ordained spouse and from moving to the next levels in your life. Those are also Judas, Jezebel spirits to hold you back, making you think that this is love, and it's not. Your real love is in that person who you juggling, because you're afraid of what's to come, because you never had to surrender. And with real love, you have to surrender. Again, you have to sacrifice and to survive. Real love comes with sacrifices. You're going to have to lose some old friends. So you're going to have to cut off some family when real love comes into your life. It's just how the cookie crumbles. So again, you have to thank the people who oppressed you. Thank the people who betrayed you, because they made you a woman or a man, whether you realize it or not. And you know, speaking of the roles being reversed and switching it around and things like that, even Satan has to thank God for throwing him out of heaven, if that's how you want to tell the story, and throwing him out into the real world, because that made him a man, maybe making him want to change his life, and he came back as Jesus. Instead of wanting to betray people, mind fuck people, he came back to love on people and to teach people the right thing, because he learned his lesson. So you see how Jesus and Satan go hand in hand. Always the prodigal son at the end of the day. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from the betrayals and all the knives in our backs. You come back 10 times stronger. And you thank the people who tried to beat you, because they helped you beat the odds. They turned you into a real woman and a real man.
Mommy.
So I thank you. And I love you. My haters, my oppressors, my supporters, and the ones who love me. Like, Even when meant to be in vain, I'm still pumping blood through my veins. Royal loyal DNA. Like y'all made me realize who I am, how faithful I am, how loyal I am, and why it's me, why I'm chosen. So I thank you. And I love you. And I wish you guys nothing but love, joy, peace, happiness, abundance, good health, good wealth, prosperity, and all that good shit that us good ass people deserve.